Thanks a lot, everybody, for all the great questions. I had fun looking at these, and let's see if I can answer most of them. Okay, first off, we have a question from SOS7979 asking, what is my favorite chord? And this user's from Texas. I really like the B chord for the ukulele. It's nice, you know, you can move it down to a B flat, or since it's kind of like a bar chord, you can move it up the neck. Next we have Charlotte Steinman from New Jersey. What is the most difficult, time-consuming uke you've made? Probably say the double neck. At the time, I didn't know of anybody that was making 4-string kind of tune-o-matic style, so I had to make it with a drill press and a bunch of needle files, so it took a long time. And that one, double neck, so I had to make 2 necks, had to make 2 bridges and all that, so that took a long time. Next we have from, better mark things off as I go along so I don't repeat myself. From Gavin Gordon from Minnesota. Do you limit yourself to ukuleles, or do you make other stringed instruments as well? I make a lot of ukes, obviously. I've also made a couple acoustic guitars. I've made some kind of silly other guitar projects, like one out of a satellite dish, one out of an old radio. I've also made a few mandolins. Let's look around here. Kind of a banjo thing out of a cigar box, a couple cigar box guitars. That's about it. I've thought about making maybe some like woodwinds, but those seem even more complicated than ukuleles, so I think I'll probably just stick to ukes and stuff like that. I like ukes because they're, you know, small and you can do interesting designs that you couldn't do with a larger instrument. Okay, this next one, not instrument related. This is from Charlotte Green. Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? And that's from Georgia, the state. And I think I would rather do the 100 duck-sized horses. I've had some interactions with ducks. We had a couple ducks growing up in rural Idaho, and ducks can be pretty nasty. So a horse-sized duck would probably, if there was horse-sized ducks, they'd probably rule the world, and humans would just be subservient to them. Okay. This is from Jetstream. Let's see, Jetstream 6745. What inspired you to start posting videos of your uke building on YouTube? And also they congratulate me for almost 5 years of videos. Well, thanks. And that's from Texas. You know, I started doing this and there were a few people, you know, making videos on YouTube, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to, you know, share my projects with people, and it's been a fun journey. Some people have been following me since my old username, that was Ragtag Bag, was kind of an inside joke. I've since changed it to, I think, D. Holbert, the name of the old YouTube video. But, you know, just making little projects, posting them, and just kind of a fun way to interact. And it's been really cool to, you know, interact with people all over the world through some of my videos. I'm going to mess up some of these usernames, but, you know, I'll do my best. And here's one I'll probably mess up. Kainoa Mana asks, what is the most exotic type of wood you've used to create one of your ukes? That's from California. You know, I made a really cool pineapple ukulele for a friend out of some zebra wood, and it's really pretty wood. I haven't gone too exotic. There's some myrtle wood that I want to try to make some stuff out of. I saw some really cool wood. It's actually made out of pistachio tree. So those are ones that I kind of want to try in the future, but probably that zebra wood for that one. Here we go from Ben Jennings from South Carolina. What, if any, luthier is your favorite, and how do you come up with the ideas for your more off-the-wall instruments? I have a lot of people that I follow, you know, YouTube, Facebook, and all that stuff. A couple that I want to mention. I've also linked to them on my main channel page. One of them is Claude from California. I really like what he does, you know, using old pallet wood. I like Tiwi ukuleles. He does a lot of these really tiny ones. There's another one, I think he's out of Sweden, Crump75, and he does a lot of cool stuff, also recycling wood. So that's fun. Those are fun ones. I have a lot of other ones. Let's see, I've been following a bunch of people making really small ukuleles. One's out of the UK, Itsy Bitsy Ukulele, and then, so those are kind of my hobbyist builders that I follow. Let's see, now we have Madison Bo Bowen from Oklahoma. Is there anything that you would like to make a ukulele out of but have yet to find? Okay, so one that I want to build is out of an old gourd, but I'm having trouble finding a source for, you know, a cool bottle gourd to make a ukulele out of. So if anybody knows anything about gourds and direction they can point me, that'd be great. Okay. Let's see, my printer's kind of bad, so some of these are hard to read. Ayden Kili. How long did it take you to learn ukulele building, and what is your actual job? So I've been building instruments since about 2009. So what is that, about 7 years? And I've just used a lot of online resources mainly. Haven't really had any like kind of traditional woodworking, you know, experience per se. I didn't really take any like shop classes. It didn't interest me at the time, you know, when I was high school and a little bit younger. Now it interests me, but so I've just kind of been learning online. And so I guess I've been doing it, been instrument building for about 7 years. And what is your actual job? And my actual job is I work as an electronics engineer, so I make software for test equipment mainly. And so that's what I do. That's my actual job. This is just on the side, just having fun. Okay. Here we go from Arizona. We have the Caffeinator, or Keefinator. And the question is, what is one ukulele you've always wanted to make but never could? So one that I want to make, and I'm going to make sooner or later, is an acoustic harp ukulele. If you've seen them, they have like the really big upper bout. I've made some people have seen the electric harp ukulele that I build, but I want to make an acoustic one, and I will one of these days, probably sometime in the pretty near future. And here we go to, this is from Upshift, and this is from Florida. What instrument did you first play? And they add, you can play most everything you've made so far. I wonder what started it all. So I played a little bit of piano. We had a piano growing up. I mean, wasn't very good at it. I also played a little bit of violin when I was younger. And then I got my first guitar. It was a really, really bad one from a thrift shop when I was like 15. And then I got a better one at age 18. I really got into playing at about 21. That's when I really got into it. And that was the guitar. And then I got my first ukulele in 2005. So I guess now I'm going on 11 years with the ukulele. But so yeah, I played quite a few. Better at some than others, but you know, do my best. When I make an instrument, I like to demo it. So that's what I do. Next one is from Boston McKibben. How did you get into building ukuleles? What inspired you? You know, I just kind of was thinking about some little projects one time, and I thought, you know, it'd be kind of fun I really love the guitar and the ukulele. I'm like, let's see what I can do. So I made a few little one-stringers and stuff like that, and then I wanted to make an electric ukulele at the time. There wasn't much out there, so just kind of started researching and kind of worked on scaling down electric guitars, and that's what I kind of got into it. And at first I thought I wasn't going to do any acoustics, but you know, I've made quite a few since then. And here we go from, oh, if I didn't mention, that was from, that last one, Boston McKibben was from Maine. And next we have from Richard White from California. And Richard, he's made some of my plans, and he's made some really cool stuff from that. And the question is, any future plans to patent and sell the design of your retractable travel ukulele? And he mentions the uke community needs this instrument produced on a global scale. So I think some people have seen my retractable travel ukulele. it's kind of a fun design. In reality, it probably introduces more problems than it really solves for that thing, but if people want to build it, I could help them out with the design. I don't really have time to mass produce them, but it's a fun idea. I actually went down the road of trying to patent it a little bit, but if you're not really intending to market something and actually sell it, it doesn't really make sense to patent something. I was going to do it just for my own personal vanity, but it wasn't worth the time and expense to do that. Okay, we have one from Hungary, and I'm really going to mess up the name on this one. This one's from Zeboles Domonkos. What made you make your own instruments? So like I said, from Hungary. So, I just kind of started down a path, and now I see something, I'm like, you know what, I could do this to that, I could change this, and I could modify it, and now I do buy some instruments occasionally, but a lot of times it's just more fun to, build your own and see what you can do. Okay, next we have a question all the way from down under, Australia, and this is from Scuttleston. And by the way, he has some really cool, he's built a couple of my designs too, and he has some really cool multi-instrument covers on his YouTube channel, and he also has a really cool beard as of right now. So, and his question is, what is your favorite band? My favorite band is Coheed and Cambria. I don't know, I got into them about 2004, and I've seen them, 6 or 7 times in concerts, and I really like Coheed and Cambria. Next one is from Arbitrary Thoughts. Did you major in any music classes or anything like that? And this is from Florida. Didn't major in any music classes. I majored in computer engineering. So computer engineering is kind of a hybrid of computer science and electrical engineering. So that's what I majored in. I took a couple music classes, music appreciation, and also a couple guitar classes, just kind of for fun. I could already play at the time, but it was just kind of for fun. That was in college. In high school, I played, in 8th grade, I should say, I played a semester of trumpet, and then I also did choir all through high school. Okay. Next one is from Uke Master Dewey, and I've actually met Uke Master Dewey. He took one of my workshops at the Utah Ukulele Festival, and his question, he's from Utah, by the way, have you ever had one of your ukuleles mistaken for a weapon? And he talks about he took a travel ukulele in his back pockets, and one of his friends thought it was a gun stock. So I haven't really had it mistaken for a weapon per se. This is one of my very first ukuleles that I built, and I built it at the time I was traveling a lot for work. So I kind of wanted to make something that I could make with basic tools. And even though this is kind of crude and kind of looks like a club, I was able to get it on, quite a few domestic U.S. flights. So not a weapon, but I had a couple people ask about what it was, and after I said ukulele, they were pretty good with it. Here we go from California, Henrique Espinoza. Is there a way to eliminate feedback when using a piezo on an overdrive pedal? So what I found for piezos, if you have like a big space, like if you have it mounted to the soundboard, it has a tendency to vibrate more, and with an overdrive pedal, you're going to kind of accentuate all the vibration. So when I put my piezo rods like underneath the saddle or like in the tube, like some of my travel ukuleles, that actually seems to work pretty well with overdrive. And I just did a couple distortion pedals and overdrive here at my own limited setup, but it seemed to work pretty well. So you can try something like that. Next we have from Sam Hirsch. Have you built any instruments you decided not to make a video for? And this is from Michigan. So I can try to cobble together a video of some sort. One that was a hard time trying to make a song that sounded like anything was when I made the crutch guitar. And that one, because of the wooden crutch, when I started to tighten up the strings, it started to bow significantly. So that one was hard, but I pressed through and I made one. Sometimes I won't make a video for a project that I've already done a lot of videos for. Like for example, if I were to make another travel ukulele, I probably wouldn't make a video for it. And I've made just a few kind of basic soprano and concert ukuleles I don't make a video for, since I'm not kind of introducing anything new to the mix. So here we go. This is from Flomushan. Easy question. This is from Ohio. Puppies or kitties? Well, right now in our household, we don't have any pets. With 4 kids running around, they keep us occupied pretty well. I think if I had to go between a cat and a dog, I'd probably go dog, but I don't see any in our near future. Okay. Here we go from Stacy Aurelio. What is your favorite instrument to play, and what is your favorite instrument to make? So I like the guitar. I like the ukulele. Well, I love them both, but so I really like to make ukuleles. I just think the smaller size lends to kind of more extreme designs and stuff like that. And then playing, it's just a toss-up between the guitar and ukulele. They're both just really fun to play, and so there's that one. David Ketchum talks about a balalaika being shown in the intro to some of my videos, and he's from Maryland, and talks about he hasn't had a chance to make it to the Paul Reed Smith factory yet. So I guess that must be in Maryland. That'd be cool to visit sometime. So the balalaika, I actually have 2 balalaikas. I made a little balalaika. It's an electric one. It's probably the one in the video. And just kind of for fun, just a little 3-string Russian folk instrument. I also got a balalaika at a thrift store in Provo, Utah, probably about 10 years ago. So it's kind of a fun little instrument. You can get some kind of cool folky music out of it. I think if you want to learn more about the electric balalaika, I think you can just search for electric balalaika on YouTube, and it should show you more about the other one. It's just pretty basic. 3 strings, electric pickup, homemade bridge, and a shorter scale than most balalaikas. We have next one from Georgia, USA. What is your background? Oh, sorry, this is from the Gary and Doll show. What is your backgrounds? For instance, have you done a lot of electronics work or a lot of carpentry or the like that give you the skill to build instruments, or do you kind of make it up as you went? So, like I said, I have training and a degree in engineering, so that helped out with obviously the electronics. And then the carpentry, haven't had a whole lot of formal training in carpentry, so I just kind of, like I said here, kind of made it up as it went along. Also relying on a lot of videos, YouTube videos. I also go almost daily to the Luthier Lounge on Ukulele Underground. That has a lot of good information if you can stand just a little bit of snark every once in a while. Just kidding. It's pretty good. It's a pretty friendly environment for the most part. This is Dakota Shiver, and not only Florida, but North Florida. I was wondering all the instruments you play, and when did you start playing music? So I started, I think I kind of mentioned when I started to get into the guitar and the ukulele. Ukulele was 2005. I started, let's see, I also play a little bit of banjo, not great at it, mandolin, bass, harmonica, decent harmonica player. That's about it. I like to play the drums sometime, but my house is usually loud enough that probably won't be doing that anytime soon. We have from Ohio, the great state of Ohio. This is from username 505 Sweet Tea. How old were you when you made your first ukulele, and what was it made out of? So The first one was in 2010, so at that time I would have been 26 years old. And this was my first like thing that could be considered a ukulele. So that was, and then I think you've also seen a lot of, things made out of tennis rackets, all sorts of different tins. So I made some crazy ones. Okay, this is from Ninth Decibel out of Colorado. Do you still pick up and play all of your uke projects? You have so many of them and they all need a little love. So because I have quite a few, some of them don't get as much attention as others. So there are some of them that kind of gather a little dust in the corner, but they usually get brought out, if I bring someone over to show some of my instruments off. This is from Georgia. We have a lot of Georgia people. Shout out to people from Georgia. And this is username iShizzle. What is your favorite type of material to work with, and what makes that medium stand out to you? And so lately, I've really used a lot of cherry, and I've used a lot of walnut. I think they're pretty plentiful in the United States, relatively inexpensive, and even though they're fairly common woods, they can still look really good with some sanding and a little bit of true oil. So those are fun to work with. Here we got from Virginia, Kurt Cobain is my hero. And at what point did you decide to build a ukulele instead of purchasing one? So, just like a lot of hobbies, it's usually actually cheaper just to buy it instead of build it yourself. But I just kind of seen a lot of cool designs, follow a lot of people that build, and I see some cool things, and I'm like, what, I could do that if I get this tool, get that tool. And so at this point I enjoy the challenge of making it more than buying. Although I do buy it occasionally, especially ones that are a little bit more unique and off the wall. Okay. Here we have from Texas, Jose Hurtado. If a chicken would fight a turtle, which do you think would win? Just like I mentioned earlier, we had some ducks growing up. We had quite a few chickens, and chickens can get pretty mean too. So I think a chicken would probably find a way to win because they can get pretty mad. Here we go from Nathan E. West. Why did you start making ukuleles? So kind of addressed it a couple times, but just thought it'd be fun, and people ask me how I got started, and I just the best way to describe it is I just kind of fell into a kind of a wormhole and just kind of started doing it, and now I do it quite a bit. Okay, this is Sabushko, and this is from Arizona, and he talks that he would love to see a cactus themed ukulele to represent Arizona. I lived in Arizona when I was pretty young, so I could see a pretty cool cactus ukulele, maybe even like a 3-neck ukulele with like a saguaro type cactus. Here's a neat, well actually it's not too easy, but this is from 420 Frasier. What is your favorite color? And this question is coming from Alabama. My wife asks me this sometimes, and I give the worst answer, and it usually depends. Like, it's going to depend on if it's a car, if it's a guitar, if it's a shirt. So, I don't know, I have a couple kind of dark red shirts that I like, maybe just because they're from bands that I like. But, so it kind of depends. I like deep red. Blue's good. I sometimes like orange a lot, depends on the situation. Okay. Here's a question from Pennsylvania. And this is from Ali Basalian. And the question / comment is, your videos are some of the craziest things I've ever seen. And I mean that in the best way possible. Thanks. You seriously need to become an instrument designer if there is such a thing. So, I'm an instrument designer, I think, already, but I don't, it's not a full-time vocation. If someone wants to give me a nice job offer, I'm willing to listen. And then the question is, when did you start playing the ukulele and what made you start making them? So I already talked about started making them, but what I did when I first got my first ukulele, I was actually going up to visit a friend in Washington State, and I didn't like the idea of not being with the guitar for 10 days. So I got a ukulele online, had it shipped to my friend's house. So it was there waiting for me when I got there. So that's kind of how I got into it, and I've just kind of fallen in love with the crazy little things. Jack Hirsch from Georgia asks, what is the most difficult challenge you have overcome in your uke building career? Like complexities in a build or complex designing? Yeah, from Georgia, like I already mentioned. So the double neck had some design stuff. I made a ukulele with fan frets. That took a little bit of thinking. And let's see, the tractable ukulele was one that was kind of complex. I made one with an optical pickup, and that one, it was kind of a fun. It was definitely a challenge. Optical pickups are a little bit overkill, I think, for the most part, but it was kind of fun. You can see that on my channel if you want to learn more about that one. Jacob Barnett from Michigan talks about, out of your crazy and wacky ukuleles, what is your favorite? That's hard. I really do like my double neck. That's a really fun one. I like some of my travel ones that I built. This one, let's see, is it back here? This one's really fun. I really like how this one turned out. It does have a built-in pickup, but it's just a pretty clean design, and I like it. I actually played this one at my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary, so that probably says something about how much I like it. So here's one from Rhode Island. Small but proud. This is from Mark Orban. Would you rather live in a world entirely made of candy or a world entirely made of chocolate? I think I'd have to go with chocolate. I think chocolate's far superior to most candy. This is from Mexico, Diego Mora. What is your favorite part of making ukes? I really like, after I've got all the finishing done and all the fretwork done, I like that when I get to, put the tuners on, assemble the neck if I need to do that. Kind of the final build process. That's really fun. And then putting strings on and listening to it for the first time. That's really fun to me. This is from Virginia, username The Dave. So not just any Dave, but The Dave. After all the unique ukuleles, how many just didn't work out, destined for the scrap heap? I mentioned earlier the crutch guitar. That was one that was kind of a learning experience. Most of them, I've kind of made it a policy to not recycle a lot of parts. So usually, if I've made something, it's around here someplace. So most of them work out okay. There's some I do just for fun, like I made one out of a frying pan, and really it's really muted sound, but it is what it is. It was fun, and plus it was modeled after an old cartoon, so there's that. John Bidler from Des Moines, Iowa. I actually lived in Iowa for a while when I was younger too. He asks, what is my favorite Donald Trump quote? Well, he's a polarizing character, so I'll just say my favorite one is that we're going to build a ukulele and we're going to make Daniel pay for it. That's what usually happens. Oh, hey. I think we may have got to the end of this road. If you made it this far, congratulations. It's kind of a long video, longer than I normally do, but if people like this, then we can do some more in the future, and if not, it was just a little experiment. So thanks for all the support, and I'll try to keep making cool videos for you. Have a great day.